A small community southwest of the border city now has a new state-of-the-art facility. Paradise Valley brought together students and community members for the grand opening of the upgraded E.H. Walter School. Brian Lentz has more.
Students are excited about their new school. With sections of their previous one more than 50 years old, Principal Calvin Anhorn says the new building was a necessity.
Let's just say you couldn't run a smartboard and a microwave in the same room without tripping a breaker. The building itself has held up very well, but the infrastructure that goes along with it became more challenging each year because technology changes, has more demands.
Originally budgeted at close to $14 million, the community raised an additional $1.5 million to build the school how they wanted.
The community itself decided that the size of gym that they were going to offer us wasn't going to be good enough for the next 50 years, and so they took it upon themselves to say we need to raise some additional funds because we want more.
Students agree the new school is a big improvement.
It's just the opportunity it provides. Mostly the gym, we were never able to host volleyball tournaments mostly because just the size and how small it is, and this year we're hosting basketball zones, so it's really exciting.
It's way better because the old school, it had other stuff growing on it that wasn't good.
Paradise Valley's mayor says the school will also benefit the community.
This gym can be used for community functions. We have a hall, but it's kind of small for big community functions, so that will help here. But mostly I think it's people to know that their children are coming to a good building, and education is important.
Brian Lentz, Newcap News.
A Lloydminster woman is making art to fundraise for the Legion for the second consecutive year. Felipa Borges is a welder who turns sheets of metal into something to remember. Using lines from the poem In Flanders Fields, Borges was spurred to action last year when poppy boxes started to go missing.
And it kind of irritated me, just thinking how low people could go. So I thought I'd try and raise some money for the Legion and bring it to the vets.
Sergeant-at-Arms Rick Mallett says fundraisers like this are important for supporting veterans in the community.
It's very much appreciated. Anything we can raise for our veterans is amazing because we get requests all the time.
Well, we're here for a reason, right? If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have now. So they sacrificed everything. What's a couple hours of my time?
Currently at $350, you can bid on this year's artwork on the Scorpion Steel Facebook page until Friday. And the Legion will be holding its annual Remembrance Day Ceremony at Lloydminster Comprehensive High School. They ask people attending to be in their seats at 10:30 as the service begins at 10:45.
Right after the service, Wendy Wilson, who we call the Dove Lady, she will be releasing her doves again this year outside the school.
Mallett adds the releasing of the doves will take place on the north side of the school, followed by a free lunch where you can donate to the Poppy Fund. It's also a great opportunity to meet veterans, young and old, who have fought in world conflicts.
I know we have one that's 96. He'll be here, and he loves talking to the kids and whatever. It's a very important day to him.
Mallett says if anyone is interested in helping out with that service, to contact the Legion. Well, there's no doubt the economic downturn has affected a lot of businesses in the Lloydminster area, and despite stiff challenges for Nissan Lloydminster, the auto dealership has continued to grow. The dealership was one of the 20 selected from 193 nationwide to receive the Award of Excellence. Owner Sean Young says different types of vehicles have become the primary product.
We're not selling as many trucks as we used to, and we're surely not selling as expensive of trucks. The segments that are growing and are moving are your compact SUV, like your Rogues and things like that.
Despite a tough 2 years, Young believes that the worst is over.
People that I talk to that are coming into the stores, I'm hearing a more positive story now, which I wouldn't have heard 6 months or a year ago. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Nissan Lloydminster has been the #1 customer service store in the country for several months this year. Well, the Bobcats came out on the losing side this past weekend, and now they're seeking redemption. The boys have a 5-game homestand that starts tonight against former coach Gord Thibodeau and his Whitecourt Wolverines. Bailey Nitty has more from the Civic Center.
Right now, the Bobcats are sitting 2-14-1 in the AJHL standings, and after a rough weekend, the boys are back and prepared to play the Whitecourt Wolverines tonight, a team they fell 5-3 to this past Saturday.
The Wolverines are in second place in the North Division with 15 wins and 4 losses. The Bobcats have lost some players due to injuries, but head coach Travis Clayton is staying optimistic and making sure the flaws seen on Saturday are fixed for tonight.
We're working on a power play. They put a lot of pressure up ice, so we're working on our breakouts, different reads, what we can use, and then in zone also they pressure really well.
Bobcats key defensive player Daniel Helsendegger had his game cut short on Sunday after a fight bad enough to leave him out of tonight's roster.
We lose Hilsey, he's been great all year, and some guys are going to have to step up, and it's their time to step up, and they're going to get minutes, so there's no excuse now, right? They're going to be involved, and it's their time to show that they can play in the AJ.
Their forwards are really quick, you need to get on them, you need to pin them.
Previous Bobcats coach Gord Thibodeau is back in Lloyd coaching, this time from the away bench. That doesn't mean he's forgotten about his old team.
He's a great coach, and I still give him calls just to help me out, and he's always been there for me, so it's always nice to hear what he has to say about our hockey team.
It'd be nice to go out and beat him and show him what he left behind. So
the Bobcats have added Chaston Braid, a winger that was with the Saskatoon Blades, to the lineup tonight. He'll be alongside Zach Webb and Scott Ivey. Puck drops at 7:30 here at the Civic Center. Bailey Nitty, Newcap Sports.
And the Holy Rosary Raiders are looking to make an appearance in their 4th straight Alberta Bowl final. But to get there, they have to defeat the Sylvan Lake Lakers in the quarterfinal this weekend. The Raiders haven't suffered a loss so far this season, allowing them to pick up a Wheatland Football League championship and officially qualify for provincials.
Provincial quarterfinal against Sylvan Lake Lakers. They've got a long history of being successful in the province, and we're going to be in for a very physical, tough football game.
The Raiders took on the Lakers in the same quarterfinal game last year, winning 34-0. The guys are confident they can do it all over again and continue down the provincial path.
We know what they're going to do from last year. They didn't lose many players, so we kind of have a game plan on what they're going to do, but we'll prepare for everything they're going to throw at us and go down to Sylvan Lake and get it done.
If the Raiders beat the Lakers, they will move on to the semifinal and try to make it to the main event, the Alberta Bowl.
This is Newcap Weather with Gerard Lampa.
Welcome back. So another day of record-breaking temperatures in Alberta and Saskatchewan too. Might be a little cooler come tomorrow, but still well above the seasonal averages. We'll show you that in a sec there. Ridge of high pressure seems to be still holding firm, but it is on the move there, and you can see the system that's pushing in from the west coast there. It doesn't seem to be too stalled anymore. Some of the warnings and watches on the west coast as well, those have been easing off. There's still mainly either wind warnings like Haida Gwaii and rainfall warnings like North Vancouver Island, but you see the high pressure is still in place there. Look at the ebb and flow of cloud cover on the overnights into tomorrow morning. So therefore, a mix of sun and cloud overall, and we hope maybe for some more blue skies and lots of sunshine with this too. Let's look out to Vancouver, sitting at 14 and overcast at the moment. 11 a mainly clear evening in Edmonton, and so too for Regina. 13 and overcast in Winnipeg. As we go further afield to Toronto, there are a couple clouds around, sitting at 4. 3 in Quebec, overcast in Halifax for 9. We've got some showers out there in St. John's there, sitting at 3. So let's come on back to the Battlefords then, sitting at 11 at the moment, and this is down from your temperature earlier on in the afternoon. You got up to 18 at 3 o'clock. 17.5, and would you believe that was not recorded as a record for you guys, but in November, I guess you take it as your own record too. 0 on the overnights with the winds west, eventually probably around 20 kilometers per hour, and then settling for half of what you saw today, maybe just 9 as your daytime high, again with the winds west 10 to 20 kilometers per hour for a mix of sun and cloud. Cold Aiken area sitting at 9 at the moment, having gotten up to 14 early on in the afternoon. Could probably see -1 in ebb and flow of the cloud cover on the overnights, but nothing ominous in that. And looking for 7 or maybe 8 tomorrow as your daytime high. Wind southwest anywhere from 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Back at home, Lloydminster, the Midwest region, we're sitting at 10, having broken the records for the second day in a row there. 17 was what it was, 16.5, rounding it upwards to 17. Could see 0 on the overnight, so maybe -1. May see some clearing as well. That is a possibility towards the early hours of the morning, around 6, 7 o'clock. Winds west and northwest, anywhere from 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. And then settling for 8 tomorrow, so maybe getting a little closer to where we should be, or maybe just because on the average for this time of year, we should be at -1 for daytime highs and -10 for overnight lows, and we're not there. We're enjoying warmth in November. So 8 for tomorrow, which is above, and 2 on the overnight lows, which is again above -10. 11 on Friday, the holiday in Remembrance. 3 on the overnight low going into Saturday morning. 11 on Saturday. It's about a 30% chance hanging around. We might see some showers, but too small to call it at the moment. 8 on Sunday, and again, we're seeing the wind sticking around at times. 9 on Monday, and then things begin to look a little dicey. That 30% chance in the afternoon looks a bit more prominent in this hour. We'll see how it goes, and then factor in the overnight lows. Finally looking like it's getting below the freezer. -1 going into Tuesday morning, and then there's that bogey on Wednesday that we're looking at. Cooling off for 3 and a 40% chance there of some mixed precipitation, and the overnight low going into Thursday morning could be around -2. So we'll see what happens by next Wednesday. That's a look at the next 7 days. Nicole has agriculture news coming up.